The community finds many ways to honor our veterans, not just on this day and Veterans Day, but throughout the year. One of the programs that was begun in the fairly recent past was a program called Quilts of Valor. It's a national program, and people volunteer their time and their money to create handmade, unique, patriotic quilts. We have several to present today. Mrs. Martha Killian here in the red and white top founded the Ladies of Valor chapter in Wake Forest some time back, and they were meeting on Wednesdays at the Wake Forest Senior Center. And they met from 10 to 2, and they sat and they quilted and they sewed and they fellowshipped and made these wonderful quilts. Unfortunately, Senior Center doesn't let anybody in unless you're 55 or older. So they approached us at the American Legion. Okay, they made an exception for Quilts of Valor, thank you. Because then we let them come in on Tuesdays before the Wednesday and use the American Legion Hall from 10 to 2. They still do that at both locations. So if you are interested in sewing or quilting or knowing anybody who is and would like to get involved in this program, please see Mrs. Killian or simply come to the Legion on Tuesday or the Senior Center on Wednesday right there on East Holding Avenue across from the post office. And they'd be happy to have you. Now, to help them generate donations for their program, they are raffling off one of their quilts. And they have raffle tickets for sale. And we can have those available after this ceremony, if you would just see her. At this time, we would like to present several of these quilts to veterans who have sacrificed, who have served their country with distinction. And so the first one is to be presented to Staff Sergeant Roger Gross, the United States Marine Corps. Many of you may have seen Roger at past Purple Heart dinners and some of our other functions here. Absolutely beautiful. Helen Roth, who is presenting the quilt, wife of our scouting coordinator, the gentleman here with the camera, Alan Roth, is very active in Ladies of Valor and one of the two primary people who keep that program moving forward, and we thank you. The next one is to Sergeant Patrick McIlvain, United States Army. If you attended our 5K run at July 4th last year, you saw Patrick actually get up out of his chair and walk across the finish line, and we know he's continuing to make good strides since then. It's my understanding he recently spoke his first word and said yes. Miracles large and miracles small. Miracles all. And we are honoring people from all generations today. One of our members of our American Legion served in World War II. He's a crusty old salt, but that's what happens when you spend time on a ship like that. We would like at this time to honor the faithful and dedicated service, not only in uniform, but since then out of uniform, to Mr. Joe DeLois. Seated right there in the center. Ah. There's another great patriot who served our country in many ways and continues to serve the community to this day. Only had the privilege of meeting this gentleman probably in the last year or so, but he's a great inspiration. Many of you do know him in a lot of different organizations here in the community. But it's Lieutenant Colonel George Ox. George, would you please come forward? There are actually several others that we had intended to honor today who live in the various retirement communities around the town. And I believe we need to take it upon ourselves as a collective community to remind those organizations that today may be a holiday, but this is when the staff, the people there, need the staff. There were no bus drivers today to bring those many who are veterans themselves to this ceremony. And we didn't figure that out till too late to actually do anything about it. So I will make it a personal project, and I hope many of you will support them, and so that we can work out some alternative next year to get those deserving veterans here to be with us. The next recipient is somebody that's been special in my life, all my life. And the reason he's been special is because he's so unassuming. But he owned a store in the neighborhood in Raleigh that I grew up in. I've known the man all my life. I knew he was a veteran. What I never knew about him until last year's Purple Heart dinner was that on D-Day he was a radio man on a landing craft ferrying troops up to the beach. The troops on the beach at least had a chance to land and get off the beach. He had to go back to the ship and come back to the beach and back to the ship and back to the beach. It takes a special kind of person not to only perform that service, but to carry the burden of those memories with them day to day for the rest of their lives. Today I salute, from the United States Navy, Mr. M.H. Green. Will let Mayor Jones hand that to him, please? Oh, okay. Oh. Actually, I believe that's all we have that are actually here today, physically here today. Yes. I will go ahead and tell you now that June 14th, which is Flag Day, there will be a ceremony at the Lodge on South Main Street at 7:45 a.m. And we will present 3 more of these quilts to the residents who live there at that time. That's Flag Day, June 14th. Thank you, ladies.
Mr. Green said that he accepts this quilt in honor of his shipmates.
Thank you very much.